Hello everyone, this is Assistant Professor Divya Shetlur, a faculty at LJ Integrated MBA. We are here to discuss the subject Advanced Human Resource Management in Semester 5. Today's topic of discussion for this video session is types of performance appraisal methods. Now, there are basically three different types of performance appraisal methods, or the performance appraisal methods can be categorized in three different designs. One is traits, second is behavioral, and third is results. Now, let us see which are the performance appraisal methods which are designed as per keeping in mind the traits of the individual, that is the ratee. First is graphing rating scale, ranking methods, paired comparison methods, force distribution, checklist method, essay or free-form method, and confidential reports. Another way that the performance appraisal methods can be designed is keeping in mind the behavior of the employee. Under this, the performance appraisal methods can be like behavioral checklist methods, critical incident method, behaviorally anchored rating scale, behavioral observation scales, assessment centers, and psychological appraisals. Another type or another design of performance appraisal methods can be through results or result-oriented methods, under which there is productivity measures, balanced scorecards, human resource accounting, and management by objectives. Let us see and understand these performance appraisal methods one by one. Before that, we need to understand what are trait methods. Now, traits are characteristics of any individual. Trait method is the methods of performance appraisal that measures the extent of which employees possess these traits or characteristics like dependability, creativity, initiative, dynamism, ability to motivate others, leadership, etc. It is not that the employees would possess one or maybe all of the characteristics. The employee can be measured on any of these characteristics. These characteristics or traits will change from job to job and organization to organization. Now, these trait methods are designed based on job description and job specification. In our previous videos and also in Basics of Human Resource Management, we understood what is job description and what is job specification. Job description talks about the tasks, duties and responsibilities of the individual, and job specification on the other hand talks about knowledge, skills and abilities to do that particular job. Now, the first method under the trait methods of performance appraisal is graphic rating scale. Graphic rating scales compares the individual performance to an absolute standard. As any general performance appraisal methods equivalates the natural performance or the performance of an employee on the job to a standard that has been set, it follows the same methodology. The judgments about the performance are recorded on a scale. Here, typically what is done is a job related performance criterion such as dependability, initiative or output or attendance or any other criteria is measured on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 3 or maybe poor to excellent. The criteria that you are seeing towards the left of your screen, these are not the only criteria, but there can be other criteria as suited for the job and the organization. And towards the left of this diagram, you can see there are scales that are designed to scale or rate the performance of the employee. The next method is ranking method. Now, as the name suggests, it is about ranking each and every individual employee from best to worst or worst to best. It is not that the criterias are ranked, it is the employees which are ranked. Its advantage is that it is very easy to administer and to explain. But the biggest problem of this method is the rater's judgment error, that is rater's error of halo, and recency errors, wherein the rater can rank any of the employee based on the recent good or bad experience, or the rater can rank the employee based on any one particular good quality of an employee. Another method under this methods is paired comparison method. It is also a ranking method wherein the appraiser ranks each and every employee by comparing one employee to the rest of the employees of the organization. Here it would mean that if there are 20 employees in any organization, then the total number of comparisons would be n into n minus 1 divided by 2. That is, if there are 20 employees, there would be almost about 190 comparisons that would be done. That is a lot of comparisons. Now, for example, to compute the comparisons, what we would do is that we would take total number of positives of the comparisons of different employees and divided with the total number of comparisons into 100. It is the simple and same method through which a percentage is derived, and this percentage denotes the ranks for each and every employee. Next method is forced distribution method. This method is used to prevent the raters from rating too high or too low. The rater distributes the employee's rating in a pattern to confirm a normal distribution curve. Employees are ranked in a certain category but not within the specific category. It eliminates the central tendency and leniency bias. Here, the rater or the supervisor needs to communicate the employee the reason to be put in a particular category. Here, as you can see in the example that is given, the normal distribution curve here denotes the different categories or different criterias or different categories where the employees would be put in as per their ratings. Next method is checklist method. It is a simple rating technique wherein rater checks the statements representing the characteristics or the performance of the employee. There are three different types of checklist methods. One is simple checklist method, another is weighted checklist method, and a forced checklist method. Now, a simple checklist method is where there are number of statements that are given for an employee to be rated by a rater, and the rater has to just check whether it falls in one or the other criteria, like yes or no, true or false. Weighted checklist methods are wherein the statements are weighed and given or assigned weight to it in the order of preferences. And forced checklist method is wherein certain statements point towards favorable responses and certain point towards unfavorable responses. Very few of the responses or the statements are noted as neutral. The biggest disadvantages of this checklist method is there is a susceptibility of raters' biases, especially the halo effect. We've already learned what is halo effect. The other problem that there can be use of personality or personal characteristics or criterias instead of performance criterias. Other problem could be that it can be misinterpreted, that is the checklist statements can be misinterpreted. The use of improper weights can be done by HR. Here, the example that is given is of a simple checklist method. Another method that is there under this particular trait methods is essay or free-form. As the name suggests, it is an essay that has to be written by the assessor or the manager or the rater, whosoever is assessing the performance. Here, the manager or rater writes a short essay on the characteristics or performance of the employee during the said period or the performance period. It gives an overview of the performance of the employee, not specifics. It is it has no common standard because each and every rater would write or would assess or would essay in his or her own capacity. The essay method depends heavily upon the writing skills of any rater. If the writing skills of any rater is good, the essay will turn out to be very good, enlightening the characteristics or the job performances of the SSC very nicely. But if the rater himself lacks word and is not able to write a good essay, then it may happen that the SSC or the SSC's performance might not be highlighted. These were the second method, the last method is confidential reports. This is one of the most traditional methods of performance appraisal. The appraisal is based on observations, judgments, and intuitions about strengths, weaknesses, intelligence, attitude towards work, punctuality, attendance, conduct, character, etc. The characteristics or the criteria may differ from organization to organization and to job role. It is mostly and widely used in public organizations and very less used in private organizations. The biggest limitation is Supreme Court judgment dated in the year 2008. It mandates that the employees are needed to be provided with a complete CR, that is confidential report, or ACRs, that is annual confidential reports, to the concerned employee, whosoever's rating it is. Now, these were all the performance appraisal methods under trait methods, that is designed keeping in mind the traits or characteristics of any employee. In our next video, we would be learning about behavioral methods of performance appraisals, wherein we would be seeing the underlined or underset methods of performance appraisals. Thank you.